Good morning and welcome back everybody. Today's video is going to be the intro to handguns for beginner shooters and new shooters all across the board. That's today's topic. Today's video is going to be for new shooters, beginner shooters. If you're an experienced shooter, this video is not going to be for you. So you can go on and just skip this video or share this video to somebody who's new to handguns and want to learn the basics. This video is also going to be dedicated thanks to Keep Battle, one of my Facebook buddies who told me in one of my videos that he needs to learn the basics of a gun. This video is dedicated to him and all the new shooters, such as, my wife who's learning, she's slowly getting into guns. And this is for all you new shooters who are interested in getting a gun and you're just worried about just owning a firearm. You're intimidated by having a gun in the house. You've never owned a gun before. You've never shot a gun before. And that's fine. It's fine to be intimidated, and that's a good thing. You want to be intimidated by this. You want to have that respect to understand that this is a dangerous weapon and this can and will kill somebody. You want to have that fear, and you want to have that respect for firearms. You want to treat all firearms like deadly weapons because they potentially can be deadly weapons. Owning a handgun, it's a lot of responsibility that comes with owning a handgun because it could potentially be a deadly weapon. So you have to treat all handguns with a lot of respect. And you have to be very precautious about owning handguns, especially if you have kids around the house and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you have a nice gun safe and somewhere to keep the gun secure. Or if not, a lot of handguns come with gun locks, such as this right here. And it also comes with instructions and everything. So you want to make sure that you read the instructions to your firearms and your gun locks. And you want to learn how to lock up your gun. And I'm going to go into more details about the gun locks and how these work later on. I'm going to just put this off to the side right here. First off, before we even start off and getting into the handguns, as a new handgun owner, as a new shooter, you want to make sure that you learn all the safety rules. And the 12 major safety rules for handguns is, number 1, always treat the gun as if it's loaded. You want to treat every gun as if it's loaded, even if it's not loaded. So when you're handling a firearm, you want to treat it like it's loaded even when it's empty and you visually see the magazine and you check it. You want to treat every gun like it's loaded at all times. Number 2, you always want to make sure that when you're handling your gun, you want to handle your gun and you want to make sure that it's always pointed in the safe direction. So if you're standing in front of me, I'm not going to pick up this gun and point it at you and be waving it around and be playing and horse playing with it. You want to treat every gun like it's loaded. So you want to pick it up, and if someone's standing directly in front of you, you want to keep the muzzle down and you want to do what you got to do to clear it. We're going to go through clearing the firearms because all these firearms on this table is fully loaded, locked and loaded right now. We're going to get to that. We're just going to get through the safety rules. The number 3 rule. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to pull the trigger. So anytime you pick up the weapon, you pick it up and you want to keep your finger straight. The trigger finger straight. Don't even put it anywhere near the trigger. Just keep your finger straight. No matter what handgun you pick them all up the same. Keep your finger off the trigger. Rule number 3. Rule number 4. You want to always keep your guns unloaded until you're ready to fire. These guns are kept in safes and I have them for home protection, so I keep them loaded all the time, but I keep them locked in a safe. If these guns are not going to be in a safe, then I will make sure that I keep these guns unloaded, the firearm and the magazine with the ammunition separated from each other. Always keep your guns unloaded until you're ready to fire. Firearm safety rule number 5. Don't point the gun at anything that you're not willing to destroy. So if you're not willing to shoot whatever you're pointing at, don't point your gun at it. Simple. Rule number 5. Don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to kill or destroy. Rule number 6. You want to always make sure that you have positive identification of your target and what's behind your target in case you miss. So before you pull that trigger, if you raise that gun, whether you're in a target or a self-defense situation or whatever, you want to make sure that you can identify your target and what's behind of it. If you're going to shoot at a target and there's a car behind of it or someone behind of it, you don't want to shoot at that target. The range is not safe. The shooting area is not safe. It's not clear to shoot. So you want to always make sure that you identify your target and what's beyond the target. Rule number 7. Learn how to use your gun. Every gun is going to function a little bit different. Most guns function 95% of the time the exact same way. A lot of different guns have a lot of different things that are different from each other. This gun is going to function different from this gun. Yes, you're going to pull the trigger and you're going to get that boom, but to load the weapon and handle and manipulate the weapon is going to be different. So learn how to manipulate and handle your firearm. Rule number 7. Rule number 8. It seems pretty cut and dry and pretty simple, but a lot of people still break this rule. Rule number 8, make sure you're using the proper ammunition for whatever caliber pistol you're shooting. So make sure if you're shooting a 9mm, you have 9mm ammo. If you're shooting a 45, you have 45 ammo. If you're shooting a 40 cal, make sure you have 40 cal. Always use proper ammunition for your firearms. Rule number 9, you want to make sure that your gun barrel, whatever gun you're using, whatever handgun you're using, you want to make sure before you shoot that the barrel is clear. You want to make sure that there's no plugs. You want to make sure there's no dirt, rocks, debris, or something inside your barrel when you're on your range and you're shooting that target. You want to make sure that you have a clear barrel, so you want to clear that barrel. Is rule number 9. Rule number 10, if you're shooting your gun on the range and your gun just fails to fire, the first thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you continue to keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. You want to remove the magazine, clear the weapon, and you just want to visually check to make sure that there's nothing physically wrong with your gun, that it's not broken, a piece of it didn't fly away or something. You want to make sure you clear your weapon and you keep it always pointed in a safe direction, and make sure that that barrel is clear before you put that weapon down. Rule number 11, don't always rely on whatever gun safety that you have on your gun to make sure that your weapon will not fire. You want to make sure that your finger, like I always say, your finger is the number one safety of the weapon. So don't rely on this safety mechanism to keep this gun from firing. Your finger should be the ultimate safety that prevents this weapon from firing. Rule number 12, just be aware of your environment. You don't want to be handling a loaded firearm and not pay attention to what you're stepping on. It might be a drop off, it might be a rock, it might be a block, it might be some steps, it might be a bump in the dirt or something. So just be aware of your surroundings, because the last thing you want to do is you want to be walking towards the range. You want to be on the range, walking towards your shooting points, whatever. If you're shooting at 3 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, 12 yards or whatever, you walk into your next shooting position and you trip over something and you end up accidentally shooting yourself or shooting somebody on the range next to you. So just always be aware of your situations and make sure that you always keep that weapon pointed down range, so in case you do happen to trip and fall, you trip and fall and the gun is still pointing in a safe direction and it's not going to fold and shoot yourself or shoot anybody around you. So just be aware of your situations. Rule number 12. Alright, so now that we got all the safety rules out the way, we're going to go through with the first step. And the first step is you want to clear any weapon. Any weapon that the first time you're handling any weapon, no matter what kind of weapon it is, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you clear that weapon. So I'm going to go through the steps of clearing. So the first thing you want to do, when you pick it up, treat it like it's loaded. So you don't want to point it at anybody, any person, anything, your pet, your goldfish, whatever. Just keep it pointed in a safe direction. Alright, so the first thing you want to do when you pick up a firearm, let's say this firearm is there, pick it up. The first thing you want to do is you want to clear this firearm. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to press this little button right here. This is the mag release button on your weapon. It's going to be different on different guns. And this gun right here, this is the mag release button. You push that button, it's going to get this magazine. Get that button, the magazine comes out. So learn the mag release button on your guns. So this right here for this Glock, this is my mag release button. It's extended mag release. So you're going to push that button, the magazine falls out. That's the first step. Second step, you want to go ahead, turn, grab the slide, round comes flying out, rack the slide a couple times just to make sure, and now the weapon is clear. This weapon is clear. Now I'm going to clear this one. I'm going to pick it up, drop the mag, put the safety down, rack the slide a couple times, and I can see light coming through the barrel. I can see that this weapon is clear. The Glock, same thing. Eject the magazine, rack the slide back, watch that round come out. Literally see that round fall out. this weapon is clear. So all these weapons are clear, and that's the first step, is clearing the weapons. That's how you want to clear your weapon. Alright, so now that the weapon is clear, now this is the basic firearm. Most firearms, they're 98% the same. They have a lot of the same features. So we're going to go over some of these features. So one of the first things is the sights. This is a front sight. This is a rear sight. So front sight, rear sight, what you want to do when you're shooting, you want to line up those sights. A sight picture similar to this. Man, this is harder than it looks. So that's the sight picture that you want to have when you're shooting. You line up the sights, you line up the front sights, the rear sights, you want to make sure that they're lined up, or I lost it. Where'd it go? And that's the sight picture you want to have with the sights. Front sight, rear sights, and this is your slide. Basic slide. This is how you maneuver. This is how you rack the slide back. That's the slide, the part that's moved. This right here, so this button, this little button is called the slide stop. This is the slide stop button, and what this little red button does is this prevents the slide when you rack it back from flying forward. Because when you take the Glock down and you pull this down, and the slide goes forward. But I'm not going to go into that in this video. This is just a basic video and your basic handgun setup. So this is the slide stop. This is a slide lock / slide release. So when I rack the slide back, I push this button up and it locks the slide back. When you push this button down, it releases the slide. That's why it's called a slide release. I'm going to try to do this again so you can see it. So I'm going to rock the slide back. I'm going to push this button up. As you can see. Let me see if I can do it again. So I got to do it at a weird angle so you can see it. You pull it, slide back, pull that button up, and it locks the slide back to the rear. You push that button, and it releases the slide. This is your trigger, the actual trigger. You pull that and it goes boom. This is the trigger guard. I'm going to use this one for now. So every gun is going to have a trigger guard. If you buy a weapon that doesn't have a trigger guard, that's a very dangerous weapon, and I would suggest you take that weapon back. So this trigger guard, what it does is literally it guards the trigger, protects the trigger from anything hitting the trigger and breaking it, and anything coming from the front and pulling that trigger back. So that's the trigger guard. This is a mag well. This is an extended mag well to help me load the magazines faster. You can see it's damaged right there from when I'm doing my reloads or whatever. And what all this mag well does, it just helps you guide the magazines in the weapon faster. You don't need a mag well, as you can see. My wife's 9 milli. You don't need a mag well, but you're gonna get hung up a little bit more, especially if you're trying to do speed reloads without a mag well. It just, the bullets, you see, like it's just see how you get caught up right there? You're just gonna get caught up a little bit more without a mag well. So it's just a cool little add-on accessory that I like, that not only looks cool, but it actually has a functional reason for having it. That's the basic functions of the firearm. This is basically everything you need to know about the firearm. This is the slide stop that keeps the slide from sliding off when it's firing. This is the slide release, and this is your mag release right here. This is your mag well, your trigger. This is your barrel, the front. And so this is your chamber. This is where the bullet goes when you load the magazine. I'm gonna put a magazine in there so you can see it. You can see the bullets right there. Now once I release this slide, it's gonna slam forward and rack around into the slide. But we're not gonna do that right now in this video, so I'm just gonna take that out, make sure that we're empty. Also, when you lock this slide to the rear, you can release it like this. You can release it by pushing the slide release button, or you can just pull on the slide. You can just pull the slide back and let it slam forward, and that's another way how you can load your weapons. And you see this little slot right here? This little slot right here, that's the ejector right there. That ejects the case. So every time you pull the trigger, the slide goes back, the ejector grabs the empty shell and it spits it out. And that's why you notice when you load, when I'm doing my dry fire exercises and stuff, you see when I pull the slide back, the round goes flying because the ejector grabs that round and it sends it flying out of the magazine. Now that you know the basics of the firearm, your front sight, your rear sight, your trigger, your mag well, your magazine, of course, magazine right here, and that's basically what makes up the handgun. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the spring assembly and none of that, because that's more advanced, and this is just the beginners. You don't have to worry about none of that right now. In the later video, I'm going to do a cleaning video, and I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to show you how to break down your pistol. And the different pistols break down in different ways, so they're very similar but different. So we're going to go into more detail in a later video. This video is just for basics, just basic knowledge of the handgun. You got your front sight, your rear sight, your trigger, your slide stop, and this side, your slide release, your mag release, your mag well, the barrel goes boom, that's where it goes boom. You got the chamber area that you see partially. And that's basically the basics of a firearm. Now I'm going to show you how you load a firearm. This is the dangerous part, because once it's locked and loaded, now the firearm is ready to shoot. Right now, this is just a gigantic paperweight. You could probably use it as a hammer to probably hammer somebody, and you know what I'm saying, you could probably throw it at somebody, but right now this is just a real glorious paperweight right now, because it absolutely can do nothing to you in the state that it's in. This is just, it's an empty handgun that's just AKA a paperweight. Now, how you go about loading a weapon? First of all, before you even load the weapon, you want to make sure that you check it to make sure that there's nothing in the barrel. You want to make sure that it's clear. You'll pull the slide back a couple times. You're going to get the magazine. Make sure that the bullets is pointing forward. This might seem like,
obviously,
I don't want to say,
you are so
how do
dumb.
I put this like,
you
this
are
might
really
seem
dumb.
obvious,
For real.
but you will be surprised in how much people don't understand that the magazine has to go in properly. There's a right and a wrong way to put the magazine. This is the wrong way. If you look at this right now, the bullets is facing towards me. So if you try to stick that in there, most magazines is not going to let you. Some of them will let you slide up in there. Some magazines and some guns will let you slide. This one won't let you slide. So don't be there trying to fight the gun and try to force it in there. If it's not going in, it's because the gun is trying to tell you, look,
you are so
genius,
dumb. You are really dumb.
Facing the wrong
For
way.
real.
So you want to make sure that you have the bullets facing the right way. So make sure the bullets is pointing towards the barrel, because that's where they're going to be coming out of. You want to stick it in there. You want to give it. You want to make sure that you want to be, don't baby these guns. These guns are not. You're not going to break these guns by doing normal things like loading and slide racking. Like when you rack the slide, you can let it go. You don't have to baby them. You don't have to ease the slide forward. I just do it for the videos because I just don't need it to be making all that noise when I'm talking to you. So a lot of times, like when I lock the slide back, you see me, I ease it forward because I'm talking to you. But if I'm going to load this gun and the slide's locked, I just let it slam forward. I don't care how loud it is. You want to make sure that you let it slam forward so the round goes up into the chamber. Anyways, back to loading. You're going to get the magazine. And you notice I grab the magazine like this. This is how I grab all my handgun magazines. It's just a habit. That's how I train. So you don't have to load it like that. You can load it however you want. But for me, it makes it easier for me to get that reference point. Like my finger is pointing towards the mag well. So that's why I grab my mags like that. So when I do reloads, I can do faster reloads because my finger is already referencing the mag well. When you put the magazine in there, you don't want to baby it. You want to put it in there. Make sure it's in there. And you can pull in it too. You can pull in it or you can tap on it. I like to do the tap. I like to put it in there and do a tap. And then once it's tapped, it's not loaded. It's not loaded yet. It's in an amber condition. It's not red. This is the green condition. The gun is green. When the gun has no rounds in it, no bullets in it, the gun is in a green status. The minute you put a magazine in it, it goes from green to amber, but it's still not red because there's still not a bullet in the chamber. So now, to get the bullet in the chamber, you're going to just pull the slide back and just let it go, and now your gun is red and it's ready to fire. I'm going to go ahead and unload, eject the magazine, let that round out. Weapons clear. That's how you load and unload a firearm. I don't want to go on too long I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to go over the basics of firearms, how it works, how it functions, how you load, how you unload, how you clear a weapon. So keep battle. Thank you for recommending this post. Thank you for recommending this idea for this video. Thank you for commenting on the post recommending me doing this video. So this video is for people like you who are new and interested in handguns, but it's just don't know much about it and is a little intimidated. There's no reason to be intimidated by a firearm. It is intimidating. I understand, and you want to, like I said, you want to always have that respect for a firearm because this is a firearm and it is considered and can be a deadly weapon. So you want to always have that respect and treat it that way. You want to treat it like this can kill somebody. Always have that in the back of your mind every time you handle a handgun, that this or any type of firearm is that this can kill somebody, and you want to make sure that you're always keeping it in a safe direction. So always remember the firearm safety rules. Always remember those rules and refer those rules and handle every weapon with those rules in the back of your head, and you should be fine. If you have a gun in the house and you have kids in the house, always make sure that you keep your firearms safely secured and stored away when they're not in your possession. And that's another topic that I'm going to talk about in another video, because I don't want to make this video too long, about especially women. That video is going to be more geared towards women, because I know for women it's intimidating carrying a firearm, period. And then when you have kids around, especially if you have small children around, that makes it even a little bit more worrisome. And that's fine. And I'm going to go into more detail about how women can carry firearms and the different ways that they can carry firearms, especially with children around, and keeping your firearms safe. And that brings me back to this point. These are the typical locks that comes with almost every firearm nowadays. That when you purchase firearm, they come with these locks. And how these locks work is, you want to get your firearm, you want to lock the slide to the rear, and what you want to do, you want to slide this. You can go either way. You can slide it through this way. It's just a little bit more harder when you slide it this way, but to do, it's not that hard, but it's just a little bit more effort to get it to fit in there. And what you want to do, you want to slide that out the barrel, take that lock and push it in there, and then you want to twist the lock to lock it, and then you take the key out. And what this is a slide barrel chamber lock. I don't know what's the specific name for it. And what this does is it keeps, once this is in there, it's locked up, this gun is useless. You cannot fire this gun. The bolt will not close because you got this wire sticking out of it, so it won't close. And even if there happens to be a round in the chamber, the slide is not connected to the chamber portion, so the striker or the firing pin is not going to be able to hit that bullet. And as you see, it's like a dead trigger. Nothing's happening because the slide is out of battery and it's not all the way set. So even if you pull that trigger, nothing's gonna happen. It's a dead trigger. This is one way that you can secure your weapons. If you don't have a gun safe around the house, you can just make sure you put this in the drawer and you put this on there. But you just gotta make sure that you don't lose these little keys. That's one of the main reasons why I personally don't like these, because if you lose these keys, then now you're gonna have to figure out, you're gonna have to try to get some type of cutter, bolt cutter, or something to cut this off, and it's just a headache. If this is all you have, use it, please. I suggest that you use it. I recommend that you use this. If this is all you have to secure your weapons, use it. But what I would recommend is you buy a little safe, a little handgun safe, the little small ones. There's a bunch of different options. There's one with keys. The one that I have, it has the finger. You can just type in the little 4-digit pin, or you can put it has like a sensor on it, and there's a bunch of high-tech ones. There's the ones with the thumbs. You could put your fingerprint and you touch it and it opens up and everything. So buy yourself a gun safe. It doesn't have to be the biggest, most expensive one. It could be the old school one with the keys. Just make sure you don't lose that key, and just secure your weapons. So how I secure my weapons, I keep them all loaded, rack, one in the chamber, and then I put them in a safe, when I'm not handling them or whatever. And the minute I get them and I'm going to handle it, the first thing I do is I clear them. I lock the slide back to the rear. I clear them, and I do what I do. I do my dry fire drills. And whenever you're doing any type of dry fire drills, make sure that you separate your real magazines and your real rounds. Keep them in a different area. Keep them in a different room. Just keep them separated from your dry fire rounds. That should wrap up today's video. I don't want to make this video too crazy long, and this is just a basic beginner's course for handguns and learning your weapon, learning how it works, learning how to function it, how to rack the slide back, learning what everything does, learning about the slide stop, and learning about the slide lock and the mag release and the slide release, slide stop, and just learn how to handle your weapon. When you buy a handgun, before you even buy ammo, you don't even have to buy ammo. You don't have to buy ammo to learn how to handle your weapon. You can literally just get your gun and just play with it. Play with your gun. Learn how it works. Learn how to, okay, boom, if I do that, it locks. If I press that button, it releases that. Oh, okay, oh, that's pretty cool. Learn how to handle that trigger. You can do dry fire target. You just learn how to, and just learn how to handle it. And the more you handle your weapon, the more you play with your gun, the more you handle it, the more confidence you have. And it's like, okay, this isn't going to happen unless I do this. So if I put a magazine in here, there's still, even though there's a loaded magazine, there's not one in the chamber, so it's not in a ready fire, condition yet. It's still amber. So you learn that, okay, I have a magazine right now, and make sure it's clear. I have a magazine. Just because I put that in there, it's amber. It's in an amber condition right now. It's still not ready to fire. I can pull this trigger, nothing's going to happen. Learn your weapon conditions. Right now, this weapon is green. It's in a green status. It's no rounds in there. There's no magazine in there. So it's in a green status right now. Lock. This is green status. It's dry, completely dry. There's no ammunition, no magazine, nothing. It's in a green status. The minute I put this magazine in this gun, it's now in an amber status. It went from green to amber just by doing that. Green, amber, green, amber status. Now the minute I rack this round, I know there's one in the chamber. This is in a condition red status right now. It's in a red status. It's ready to do some damage right now. And make sure you unload your weapon. So just learn your weapon statuses, learn how to function your weapons, and just play with your gun when it's empty, unloaded, and it's in a safe condition, and you're in a safe environment. There's nobody else. Just handle your weapon. Just just see how it feels, and just learn how everything works. Like you can practice drawing your weapon from your holsters, and just learn how to handle it. And the more you play with your gun, the more you handle and you learn how it works, the more confidence you're gonna have when you're handling it, because you do it so much that now is drilled in your head. Always make sure when you're handling your weapons, you keep your finger off that trigger. I already said it in a video. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to actually shoot something. So just even when you're practicing, even right now, I know this weapon is in a condition green status. It's completely dry. I still don't pick it up like this. Don't pick up your gun like this. Don't pick up your gun and have your finger on the trigger. Don't do that. Learn to train yourself to when you pick up your gun, you always have your finger straight up. Put your finger along the frame. Just learn to do that. Just when you first get your gun, that's the first thing you should do, is learn to keep your finger off that trigger till you're ready to shoot. No matter what you're doing with it. You see I'm playing with it, I'm doing whatever, my finger's off the trigger. I can rack that slide back, I can do whatever I can do. I could practice drawing my weapon and my finger's still off, my finger's not on the trigger. Even though I know it's a condition green, my gun is dry. Finger off the trigger. Just learn how to handle your weapon. Play with your gun. Learn how everything works. Play with all the features. And even if you have like a weapon mounted light, play with it. Play with the light. This one has a laser and everything. Just learn how everything works. Draw your gun and put the light on, and learn how to draw your weapon, and learn how to control it. If you're looking and okay, the weapon's off. If you're in the dark, I can turn my light on and off anytime I want. I seen in the movie in I Am Legend with Will Smith, he had a rifle, and his rifle had a weapon light. This is going to be another topic, as a matter of this is going to be a totally different topic with rifle weapon lights, and that's why you want to have that switch to be able to control your weapon light, because in the movie, he had his weapon light on, and he was doing this joint. He was doing this, and in the dark, he's doing that joint. And, you shouldn't have to be doing that with your weapon light. That's why you should have a weapon light that lets you turn it on and off just like that. So if Will Smith in I Am Legend had a pressure pad for his weapon light or on and off button, instead of him doing this joint right here, instead of him doing that, he could have just kept his both hands on his rifle, because he had a rifle in the movie. He could have kept both hands on his rifle, and he could have just weapon light on, off, on, off, on. Anyways, just play with your guns, learn how to use them, learn how to use all the features, learn what every button does, learn what this button does, that this is the mag release, learn that this is a slide stop that keeps the slide from flying off the gun when you fire it. This is a trigger, and the Glocks have the trigger safety. Know that this is your slide, know that this is your front sight, your rear sight, know that this is your chamber, and know that your chamber is back here, which is connected to the barrel. The barrel and chamber is one and the same. Just learn how to function your weapon, play with your weapon, learn your guns, learn how to handle them, and you'll be fine. If you're new to guns and you're interested in buying a firearm, I suggest you go out and buy that firearm that you want. You handle it. Make sure you buy a gun that's going to fit for you. This one is for my wife right here. This is a little Ruger. This is a little Ruger 9mm. This is for my wife. As you can see, you can see where my pinky is just hanging off of there. So this gun is too small for my hand. This is why it's perfect for her, because she has small hands, so this is perfect for her. My pinky is just dangling, so that's not a good look. When I put the magazine in, weapon's in the amber status, and put the safety on. The magazine has a little pinky spot right there for your pinky, so I can grip it now. I can grip it a lot better, but it's still, the gun, my grip is just, it's just not the best grip for me, because the gun is too small for my hands. So I can still shoot this, and I can still shoot this very accurately, but it's just too small for my hands, and it's not comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable to shoot, and I know I can manhandle this gun and everything, but it's just not a comfortable shooting platform for me. I'm going to take this out, make sure we're in a red side. Green status. This is the perfect, this Glock 23 or any Glock 19s, any subcompact Glocks or any subcompact weapon is going to fit my hands perfectly, no matter what brand, whether it's Glock, CZ, Ruger, SIG, it doesn't matter what it is. Any subcompact frame gun is going to fit my hand, but some of them is bulkier than others, and the Glock is just a perfect fit. It's not too thick, it's not too slim, it's just a perfect fit for my hand. It just fits in my hand perfectly, and that's why I personally like the Glocks and most subcompact weapons. To wrap it all up, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new to handguns, I hope you learn how to handle your firearms. I hope you learn how to manipulate, and you learn that guns, even though they're deadly weapons, they're only as deadly as you make it. Just understand that and remember it. I can load this gun right now, amber, red status, and I can put that gun on the table, and that gun will not fire. It will not shoot. It will not just magically just start killing people and shooting people. People have this idea that, oh my god, the gun's just gonna go off and start killing people. I could put this gun, I could throw it down, and on this table, I don't want to mess up the camera or anything, but I could throw this gun against the wall right now and it's not gonna fire. I could let it drop and I could just do it. It's not gonna fire. It's not just gonna go off and fire. There's a round in the chamber right now, and I could drop it and I can do all this and it's not gonna fire. As long as you keep your finger off that trigger, you can handle this weapon. It's not just gonna fire. You put that weapon down, it's not just gonna fire. In order for that gun to fire, you have to make it fire. You have to pick it up, put it in your hands, aim, pull that trigger in order to fire. The gun is not just gonna go off and fire by itself. This is the number one thing the new gun owners need to know and understand. The gun is not just gonna shoot people. It's not just gonna go around killing people. You know, the gun is in a red status right now. It's one in the chamber. It's not just gonna walk off the table and just go start killing people and shooting people. Guns don't kill people. People with guns kill people. Understand that. Simple. So just remember that and you'll be fine. Don't be afraid. Go out there, go to the gun stores, try out different weapons. There's different brands. You can try out whatever ones. You know, let me try this one. You see, this one fits. No, I don't like the fit. Oh yeah, this one fits perfect. Make sure the gun fits perfect in your hand. Make sure when you buy a gun that and you hold it and you want to touch and you want to just make sure that it just feels good. When you get a gun that's built for you, when you find a gun that's made for you, you're gonna know right away, right off the top. The minute you pick it up and put it in your hand and you just grip it, you just know this is the one. When you go gun shopping and you find the right gun, try out different guns. The gun shop dudes, if they're annoyed of you asking to try out different guns, then they're not the right salespeople for you. Because a good salesman is gonna let you try every single gun in that store until you buy one. That's what a good salesman is gonna do. So if he's annoyed, then go to a different gun store. Try out the guns. Try out different ones. Try out different sizes. Try out different calibers. It's gonna be another video. I'm not gonna talk about caliber sizes in this video because this video is just for beginners, but just go out, try the guns, and if you're gonna pick a gun for self-defense, home defense, try not to go with anything smaller than a 9mm. That's all I'm gonna say about calibers in this video. That's a whole different topic, whole different video. But the smallest caliber that I recommend for you to carry for the first time is 9mm. 380s is nice for women. A lot of women like 380s because they're small. But guess what? This gun several years ago would have been only in 380. Now this is a 9mm. Ladies, you can carry 9mm power in a small frame. So don't think that you need a big bulky gun to have a bigger caliber. This is 9mm. This is my wife's gun. It's a 9mm, and it's a small. Back in the day, this would be a 380 or a 22 even. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you for tuning in to Sealess Strategics tabletop talk about guns, the beginner intro for guns. If you're new to guns, watch this video. If you know somebody that's new to guns, tag them, share this video, have them see this video, and learn a thing or two about guns. Thank you all for tuning in. See you all in the next video. Peace.